This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in partnership with Empire Fight Store. We're here in Manchester. It's the fight we've all been waiting for. Eubank, Liam Smith. Just talked about that fight, mate.
Very, very
Where'd you start?
Yeah, where'd you start? I mean, I think let's start at the end. I think we're going to end up on Saturday night with an absolutely scorching, fantastic fight. Very historic venue, and I think we're going to see an historic fight. I think we're going to see a fight that we're going to go back and look at in decades to come, and we'll remember it. You know, it's a British blockbuster, and then let me go build down from there and look at the. You know, the gloves are off, the press conferences, the interviews, the direct messages on social media, which adds that bit of spice these days, you know. And like Junior said, the steak is certainly cooking. And let's all be very happy we've got this on, because it's a fans fight. It's one that you can't not help enjoy. You can't not help enjoy the build-up. It's one of those build-up is so genuine, because it's not like they're about to jump at each other, each other's throats, and I don't even think you need to be careful around the press conferences. I think they can be fine with each other. It's just a genuine dislike. It's not like they want to get physical before the fight. I don't think we're going to see much of that. I just think it's a genuine dislike between two very different humans. You know, you've got obviously the lad from Liverpool, and then you've got the flamboyant southerner, so to speak. Yeah, the man who's an entertainer and an entertainer throughout.
That's why I think all the behind the gloves, the behind the scenes, and gloves are off, all the rest of it. I think that's why it's been so good, because there's
It's authentic.
Yeah, it is authentic. That's the thing.
It doesn't really. It's nice that they can settle the score in the ring, and they're two, you know, world-class boxers who we're going to watch, and it's for our entertainment. But it's authentic. It's so real. Yeah. It's so, you know. And luckily they do have a ring to settle it, because these two fellas, if they didn't have a ring to settle it, they probably would go outside and settle it.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, they've. And by the way, you can see it in all walks. Like, you can probably see a Chris Eubank and a Liam Smith in a workplace. You know, those sort of characters, they just don't get on, do they? You know, and the fact that they're two superstar boxers, and we get to watch it on Saturday night live on Sky Box Office. That is box office, isn't it? That's you know, that's something that like settles. You settle the score, you know, and yeah, can't wait.
What type of reception do you think Eubank could get on Saturday night?
You know, I was thinking about the way up here. I mean, I'm sure that Liam's obviously got a large crowd from Liverpool coming over, but I do think that the sort of the poster.
That's fantastic.
Great line. He comes out with these lines. I don't know where he gets them from, but he keeps on pulling them out.
Do you ever get warned of the things he's going to do in terms of the KFC jacket or anything like that?
One or two, yes, but most of them, no. No, absolutely not. Like the KFC jacket, I was sitting there going, what? Right? I first thought, when he came to the stage we were on, I thought it was, for anyone who's old enough, it was the old Ayrton Senna Formula One Marlboro car, and I thought it was like a Formula One retro jacket. And then you got closer, I'm like, well, my eyes are a bit shot anyways, but looking at him thinking, is that a KFC jacket? Yeah, and fantastic. He's always fantastic entertainment. From my very first press conference with Junior, 2017, in Monte Carlo, up to till today, it's just great to work with.
Is the weight going to be an issue, do you think, for Liam Smith, with Eubank being the heavy man?
I don't think it's going to be an issue for either. I think the weights, you know, Junior makes the weight obviously very comfortably. He even weighed in a pound under against Liam Williams in the last fight. I think, I don't know, I thought Liam looked like he had a couple of pounds on him there, but, you know, maybe he's had a good Christmas, Liam. You never know.
How would you describe Liam Smith? Because Eubank said, you know, culpable, dirty, those are sort of adjectives that Eubank's used. How would you describe Liam Smith as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, Liam's gritty, dirty, and, you know, he knows every trick in the book. You know, he's been around the block a few times. But he's a seasoned campaigner who's world level. He's won a world title and a very good boxer, you know. absolutely. No, I mean, it's a proper boxing family there. I've had the privilege of working a lot with, obviously, with Callum, with Paul, and in world title fights. And you know, they're a proper boxing family if you ever meet one. The Smiths, but then again, the Eubanks boxing dynasty there as well, isn't it? You know, so it's fascinating like that. But I think that Smith, he brings that grit. He'll bring that grit. He'll bring that resilience. Will the age come into it? I know that there's not much in it, but in there's a couple of years. I remember when I was around that age, you start to feel the bones go a bit more, and Junior's the speed. As Liam slowed down, also the extra weight. Will the speed be a factor? It'll be interesting.
It is Wasserman, it is Boxer this weekend, or this week in fact. You said to me when I was in Newcastle with you for Troy Williamson and Josh Kelly that you're going to stick it on Mr. Shalom this week. What can we expect tomorrow?
Did I say that? Was that down the pub in Newcastle?
No, that was in the press conference. Because when Ben says that you didn't want this fight numerous times in the first presser in London, you said you're going to stick it on him.
Yeah, well, maybe I will. That's a good point. Just reminded me of that.
Thank you. I
better sleep well today and proper stick it on him tomorrow then, eh? We'll have 2 face-offs.
Since Roy's been in the training team with Eubank Jr., how much has he improved? I mean, Liam Smith has said that the way that he fights under Roy suits Liam. Would you say that's the case?
So he fights under Roy?
Under Roy, in terms of how Roy's fighting style.
But who said this?
Liam Smith said this. Yeah.
Nah, he talks about the psychological mind games. If that's not a psychological mind game, I don't know what is. No, they've got a fantastic strategy in place, and knowing Roy and the way Roy fought, they'll have a few of them. So, you know, and I think that's key, because I think if you look back at the George Groves fight, there wasn't that second strategy wasn't there for him. He was really alone in the corner sort of thing, and it was, you know, this is, you know, with Roy, he's been, you know, we talk about Liam being around the block. Roy, at the very pinnacle of the sport, one of the best boxers ever to lace gloves. He'll have a lot of different tactics. So, you know, I think that Junior can fight in a lot of different styles, and I don't think that Liam can do that. I think Liam, I'm not saying he's a one-trick pony. I know he can adapt, but you sort of know what he's going to bring.
This is a fight fans card, in fact. If Eubank Jr., your man, is the winner, I think most fight fans want to see him go for Golovkin. I don't think many fight fans want.
Right now, I don't think Golovkin wants it. I don't know if he still wants the box. I don't know. Apparently, he wants to box Brazilian kid Falcao, who's the IBF mandatory. I don't think that tickles anyone with any interest anywhere on planet Earth. So, you know, we've said that we'd love to do it. They don't seem very receptive to it. Maybe that will change after Saturday. And we're not looking past Saturday right now. This is a live fight. This is a very, very tough fight. So straight after the fight, we can talk about that. But right now, and just on Golovkin, just to cut that short, I don't know whether he will fight again, personally. I don't know. From the readings I get off them is, I don't know, and there's big fights to make out there, and you want to box your mandatory against unknown Brazilian, you know, it's, I don't know, next generation sort of, I don't know, I'm not getting it.
This is being obviously broadcast as well by DAZN out in the US, Canada, etc. This is a regular occurrence for you, Kalle, isn't it? Working in partnership with that company now?
Listen, I've always said the more involved in an event, whether they're broadcasters, promoters, it's more voices, isn't it? You know, get that message out there, make that fight bigger. You know, we work very well. Obviously, DAZN is a long-term partner of ours, and we work very well with Sky and with Boxxer to put this event on as well. So, you know, but it's you know, we're not in the forefront. It's the boxers who are in the forefront. But it is then, if you've got different promotional teams on it, so you've got 2 sort of platforms to push it on, and then you've got 2 broadcasting platforms to push it on globally. It's fantastic. It's great. It's great, and it's great for the sport.
You mentioned DAZN as well. We have to talk about last weekend. Successful show for you, for Misfits.
Yeah.
I don't think many people got a reaction from you after the event, so just an initial thought, Kalle.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, it was crazy. It was fun. It was KSI, you know, improves from fight to fight. He really does. He's worked so hard at this sport. But, you know, we'll see if we make that Jake Paul fight this year. You know, looks good. Looks good. I think, you know, I think there's some positive discussions, and I think it looks good.
The fella who's come out on top, I'd say, for the whole weekend is Swarms. No, not Swarms. So Salt Pappy, I'd say. Sonny Edwards. They all seem absolutely amazed by how good he was. What's another performance by Salt Pappy?
I remember the first on Misfits 001, the first event at the O2. And Sonny Edwards said to me, oh, well, that wasn't to me, we're in an interview together, we did like a joint interview, and he's gone, he's a ringer, Kalle. And look, we're looking at a guy, I think he's had 2 fights officially, but as he had those 200 amateur fights that we all don't know about, there is something, I mean, he looks terrible body-wise, he doesn't look like an athlete. When I say terrible, I mean it doesn't look like an athlete.
I know exactly what you're saying.
And he's boxing a guy who's from MMA, Josh Bruckner, who is an MMA fighter, who hasn't got an ounce of fat on his body. Looks like, you know, something out of a bodybuilding stage, and takes him clean out. Like, and he really hadn't done up much up to that stage in the fight. It was just he waited for his moment, boom, pulled the trigger, and I'm like, you know, so yeah, it's a tricky one though, because it's like for that space, it's almost, you know, it's going to be difficult to find people to fight.
Where are you going to push him then? Where will you push him?
I don't know. I mean, there's lots of fights. I mean, Mams Taylor does the matchmaking, and you know he's looking at that now. But you know, it's a fantastic puncher, the guy. He really is.
We did get great numbers on our channels. There's been so much talk about it. I know a lot of the audience were in there. I think doors open at 7 and they were already in there. I mean, there was. In terms of spectators, it was absolutely packed.
It was a sellout. Okay, this weekend is a sellout as well. I hope this weekend everyone turns up like last weekend and everyone's there for the first fight and the first bell, because it's so special for the boxers, you know. And I saw Lyndon Arthur, he put a good message out there. He said, look, knowing about YouTube boxing, look at the crowds, they at least turn up for their fighters on that first bell. First fight, Idris Virgo, Anthony Taylor, 7 o'clock. There was not a seat in the venue that wasn't taken. It was fantastic. As a promoter, I had goosebumps just looking around the venue thinking, this is incredible. First fight, and there's not a seat to be had in the venue. Sold out's one thing, you know, it's sold out events over the years. Fortunately in boxing, you know, they come and they have a few drinks, and I like that, but have them a bit earlier. Get in there and watch those first fights, support the guys and girls, you know. They've been through big camps and they're thinking, oh, we're on a big card, it's amazing in the Manchester Arena on Saturday night. But normally people always tend to turn up a little bit later. You know, have those beers at 4 or 5 o'clock and then come along, you know, get there for the first fight. You know, you can have more beer in the venue.
We have to talk about that. There was
if
a
you're
lot
into beer.
There was
or sausages or hot dogs or whatever tickles your fancy, popcorn.
There was a lot of negative comments though. I mean, there was an article in the Daily Star.
No, you said I'm going to cut you short there, mate. What negative comments? One article in the Star. Go on.
Dangerous YouTube.
No. What other articles? One article in the Star.
One article that
pass.
I can say.
Next question.
No, pass.
No, next question.
On Twitter then.
We had over 35 million viewers, right?
Yeah.
35 million, and you're telling me about some article in the Daily Star. I could give a monkey's about Daily Star.
No response at all?
No response. It's one article, and then everyone called me.
Yeah.
I know the fella. He calls me every time he wants an exclusive. He calls me. He didn't bother to call me and ask me, "Have you got a statement to fucking make on this?" Put some article about. Like, it's got my picture on it. I didn't get a call. Yeah. This is a guy calls regularly for asking for stories. You know, so I'll see him at the press conference tomorrow. I would like to ask why he didn't give me a call, because half the things in there is a complete pack of shit. You know, so that's it. But what other? What there's not that's you're coming. No, you're coming a bit from a boxing side there.
Go on.
So I get the traditionalists.
Yeah, okay.
Don't watch it. Move on. Don't watch it. Move on. Don't like it. Move on. What am I going to say? But there wasn't negativity, apart from one article. But it's funny, when I do interviews with traditional boxing outlet, it's, oh, there was negativity. What? One article in a Daily Star, and that's all you can you tell me any others? Can you?
No.
Can you?
No, you have got me there. You have got me there.
I've got you. So lots of negativity.
Yeah.
Let's fucking get real, man. This was a global event,
Yeah.
which did 35 million viewers globally. And you're telling me that
But I'm saying a lot of people would
negativity
I would say it's a lot
is
of
a
people
piece in the Star. What? Because it had my picture in it. Fantastic. That's
No,
a
not
fucking
not
great
not
piece.
just that though. In
But
terms
but seriously, negativity is other things I've experienced in the last few months. That's negativity. That ain't negativity. I'll fucking take that article and use it for something else.